Hi, Dr. Lori Wieters here, and today we will be tackling the gap analysis tool. As I promised in my past videos, I was going to start sharing some of the tools that I use in my practice. Now, invested some time this week looking at who created the gap analysis because I've been using this for years and years. And the only thing I could find out was that it fell out of the emergence of management strategy and quality theory. It's a simple tool that examines the space between where we are today and where we need to be. Where we are current state versus future state. This is one of the foundational tools that I use in my practice. Now, I've been using it as a part of executive coaching, as a part of strategic planning, as a part of examining a sales cycle. There are just so many ways to use this tool that I find that I wanted to present this tool first, as it would be one that you could go out tomorrow and practice with and find a lot of value in using. Now, when I talk to my students and talk to them about going out and using this type of tool inside of a business or to practice with it at home or to do something with it, they get really hung up on the fact that they've never done this before. And I said, but you know, you've done this 100 times before. You didn't have a birthday party yesterday and you needed a birthday party today. So how do you get there? So we've all, whether we know it or not, have somehow tried to bridge the gap between where we wanted to be and where we currently are sitting today. So this is a simple form you're seeing in front of you. I call it the gap analysis planning worksheet. I do this on a piece of paper. I can write it on a piece of paper, make 3 columns if I don't have this with me. I have a tool like this with me in my portfolio at all times, so I can bring it out and really start the planning process with a leader should that need to be done. So in this gap analysis, and by the way, you can surely go out and put 3 columns on a Word document and call it yours. That's fine. I just want you to use it and practice with it. So here's why I build it like I build it. Some people I've seen build the gap analysis tool where you see the R, the present comment, that's always on the left. Sometimes the number 2, which I put on the right, is sometimes in the middle, and the 3 is on the outside. However you best want to use it in a linear fashion, or I use it as a true gap analysis, which means that I first start to explore the R with the executive, where are we today? And then as they talk about their business, or it might even be a large executive team, where we have this in front of us on flip charts. I have 3 flip charts up there, where are we today? And then we skip over to where we want to be over on the right. Now, I find that sometimes executives who are very tactical have a hard time moving into possibility thinking. They can think about their work today and in 2018, but when it goes out to 2019, 2020, it gets to be really fuzzy for them. So you may have to prompt them as the IO psychologist in there helping them to think about if they had a magic wand and money and time and resources were in abundance, they couldn't get enough of them. What would they do? How would they run their company different? How would the process be different? How would the change look when we get there? We want them to really get into that thinking that's way outside of where they're currently at. Many times I'll see people say, well, we could go do X, and that's only one step above where they are today. But really, it's not going to keep them up with the competition. So your role is to ask them really good questions, challenge that tactical thinking, and put them into some future thinking. Now, you've documented where are we. Now you've documented where we'll be. Now it's time to fill in the gap, and that's where number 3 comes in. And in the 3rd state, this is all about brainstorming. It's nothing about qualifying it. It's nothing about saying why we don't have the money or time or resources. It's just about putting anything that pops into people's heads as to where they are today to where they want to be. And your role is to capture that information. Now, if it's a 2-day offsite, let's say, we may do just this part in day 1 with some other activities which cause them to think bigger or to really capture this thought about the planning. Where do we want to go and what do we want to do? Many times I'll give them homework for day 2. Let me show you the second page I use. You can create something similar to this. It's all the action plan and prioritization. So now that you have all the ideas on the table, now how do we put that into reality? And I've created, you can create your own form on how you want to get here, but I like to segment their thinking. What can we do in the next 7 days? What can we do in the next 30 days? How about the next 6 months, and then the future planning? And then you can go into the other pieces. Now, if it's homework, I like for them to take the list that we've created and put it into one of these buckets, and then put a description to it. What would that look like? So when they come in for day 2, it's really a lot about how do we get this work done? And this isn't realistic. This is. We can do the sorting on day 2. So hopefully that has helped you understand just the basics of gap analysis. I would love if you would go out and use this tool over the next, let's say, 5 to 7 days, and send me an email and say, or send me a text, whatever we're communicating on, and say, wow, I used this tool and it was very helpful in moving this client from A to B. Or I practiced this tool with my family and I was able to do this. Or do some self-coaching and some self-practicing. Where am I today and where do I need to be? Well, I need to be using this gap analysis tool for the things that I do in my industrial organizational psychology practice. Have a great day. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon.